having a niche within cryptocurrency was a bit of a side hustle for me at the start, and it grew on me, and DeFi especially because of the just the values and the ability and the unrecognized potential I think that's out there is really a major drawing factor to me, and it's one of the reasons why Amel Discus was just so appetizing towards both myself and members of my team, because this is what projects should be doing. This is what companies should be doing. This is the direction that we want to take DeFi in. The snake eat the tail current sphere of crypto is just not going to be a long project. Like it's not long thinking. There's not always going to be new investors to feed a project, and eventually they're always going to be dumped on. So with a project like this, it's something refreshing. I think it's something really new in the space to have a brick and mortar store that really represents the value of the token that you're trading. It's a bit more deeper, and I think especially with such a niche as fish keeping and the hobby of itself, I think there's a lot of customers out there who have this kind of community mindset, who would be looking for a place and looking for a method of transacting that value. And I think Rio is really hitting the nail on the head there with his concept.
Okay, that's really amazing, and yeah, so that's really what we saw. Just finding this project, as I was telling Miguel, it was really the first time that we saw an actual product, IRL product, that was using the DeFi technology with an already functioning business behind it. So it was kind of like seeing history in the making, and it's kind of cool that it ended up being in the fish industry. But yeah, it's really interesting. So Will, do you want to talk to us a little bit about yourself? You said you have some past in public relations. If you want to talk a little bit more your experiences.
I wouldn't go as far to dox myself. I'm not that open yet with the community. Just there's a lot of risks involved.
No, I mean, in DeFi. I meant in
DeFi, of course. Yeah. So
not IRL. The worst.
Well, in cryptocurrency in general, I've kind of just touched the surface in maybe 2016, early 2017. So I definitely have a bit of experience under my belt with cryptocurrency in general. It wasn't until maybe a year ago when I really started to run projects. I think my first one ever was Grand Exchange, or a couple small ones. They hit 2 million or so back when the bull run, back when everything was hitting big. So that was really the main learning experience for me there for DeFi specifically. But as time grew on, I kind of saw the trends. I kind of saw a new project, they pump for a week, the team goes missing, they disappear, there's no information, a new project starts. So it kind of burns you out after a while. Recently I hit a project that was just really striving for difference, and that was Grimace Coin, an all-time high of 12 million or something. It really went. And what I saw with those guys was the more communication that they had with the community, the more real plans that they intended on, instead of just marketing. They wanted to build things, and they wanted to reach out to community members, and they wanted to really create a name for themselves. And that's when I started to think, you know what, this DeFi stuff is pretty awesome if we let it be. And at the end of the day, a project is only going to be as resourceful and useful as its team can be. So really, when you're investing into a project, you're not investing into the name, or you're not investing into the logo, because most contracts are all the same, except with a different name and a different logo and maybe a different tax. What you're actually investing in isn't the team. And you want to hope that the team is capable of, taking the project and taking their vision and building it out outside of the cryptocurrency world, because that's where the real value is. So after Grimace Coin, Grimace is still going. It's just with the current bear market, things are quiet, things are being built. There's not much need for marketing, and that's what I mainly do. So I reached out and looked around, and when I found Meldiscus, this is just something that really I thought awesome potential here. I love the concept. I love the idea. The actual the store owner himself, Rio, sweetest dude, right? He named the store after his wife. There's nothing, you can't get more sweeter than that. Like, the story is a brick and mortar family store. And I wanted to support that. I'm not getting paid by Rio. I'm not getting paid by any of the Meldiscus guys. I just thought this is something that I can be compassionate about, something that's calming and soothing, and doesn't have to be a one green spike upwards. I can feel secure.
Wow, that's really, really awesome to hear. Honestly, it's it's not a project you find very often. I'm at the risk of repeating myself, but being in the space for
it's not one of those
a bit
everyday
of
projects.
Yeah, it's like I've been in the space for over a year now. It's like it's really like one of the first time I've seen something like that. So, in the next question, I have a few questions now, because we already have a bunch of our community that invested in the project as well. And so I felt that was a good moment to talk a little bit about a few things about the project, a few questions that they may have sent me about the project. So we're going to be separating question 2. So first part is going to be about marketing, and I'm talking about general aspect of marketing, and as well as a distributed strategy that we put in place. And then second is going to be more long term, where you see where you see the project going, what are some cool stuff that you may implement, some stuff like that. So the initial question that I have is, what are the different strategies that you've used and that you will be using in order to kind of promote the product in the space, at least at first?
Right. So far in terms of marketing, we've done very minimal. It really was just about community establishment, creating that kind of culture, getting our own jokes, getting our own content, just establishing what we're about as a community. And those that were interested, they were going to join. And some joined, and then some left, and that's the nature of a project. But we did do some calls and the usual things to get that sort of rolling. But and compared to what we actually want to do, it's very minimal. So long term, and even just within the next week, we're going to be seeing a lot more marketing involvement. So we've already hashed over the ideas. We want to go big on TikTok. The fact that we have a physical store with fish in it is such an awesome potential for us promoting on TikTok and promoting on other video platforms. Like, Rio's fish are just gorgeous, right? Those videos are just going to enamor so many and captivate so many audiences. And that's going to be really the first step of the funnel. So they're going to start off with the fish. They're looking at the fish. They're going to go and have a look. We're going to start spreading the memes, because it is a funny concept as well. Like a Meldiscus. To English speakers, it's just like a funny concept. We don't really, we're interested. There's beautiful fish. We want to come in and see more. And I think making those TikTok videos and then siphoning audience members into the crypto, and even bringing in completely new people to the crypto sphere as well. We have the ability to market not only the cryptocurrency, but also the store itself. And that benefits the crypto because they go hand in hand. So for every fish sale, 10% of that will go into buybacks and burns. So the floor is constantly rising. If we go and promote the store itself in Indonesia, and it becomes a viral trend, and so many people come in to check the store out, and talking points and things like that, we're going to see a floor lift. We're also going to see new buyers come in of the cryptocurrency. So there's a lot of different fronts here. Rio himself has already been in contact with members of the Indonesian media with
Yeah,
one of these systems that he's designed himself. So, there's so many potential things that a lot of other projects can't even tap into, but we can, and we're going to use all of it. We're going to use every bullet in our chamber.
Okay, that is really fantastic. Yeah, there's definitely so from what we see, there are two strategies, right? So at the moment, most of the product that they're going, they end up dying all the time, even if all of them go through the typical list of calls. So it's good that you're getting that you want to get there organically. TikTok strategy is definitely interesting. Have you considered a YouTube also type of strategy, or are you going to be purely focusing on TikTok for now?
Well, I think TikTok's platform and the algorithm itself is really quick for gaining attention. But really what we do want to do on the YouTube side of things is there is a big audience for fish YouTubers, and there's a lot of actual fish influencers, funny enough. So what we want to do is we want to see if we can contact some of these big YouTubers who do the fish videos every day, who post about their tanks and they do things like that, and see if we can get some kind of promotion going between Amel Discus and that channel. Whether we talk about the cryptocurrency itself or just the store is still a decision what we're trying to make. Because the thing with influencers is a lot of them are very hesitant to get into a cryptocurrency. But because we have the ability of using the store itself and Rio as a person, there's just so much more that we can do there in terms of YouTube and influencers.
Okay. No, I see. Yeah, that's very interesting. You actually do mention that. So for you, like, okay, so up to now, would you say? So I've seen that you guys have done some Twitter marketing, a little bit of Telegram marketing as well. But if you had to just kind of put in synthesis the different actions that you've done over the last few days, what would you say was the most efficient way of marketing? Was it the community shilling? Was it the Twitter shilling?
The most yeah. See, it's really hard to point your finger at one thing because often we're doing a multitude of things at the same time. Obviously, calls have a really big impact, but the thing is, they're not really sufficient. So you'll have a call and you'll see it maybe pump up for that day, and very quickly people will sell because they're not organically interested in the project. They were interested in the calls pump. And I think you see that with a lot of projects. So I would have to say that the most effective was just the community engagement at the start. When we were all pumping out memes or being funny, we're going and spreading the jokes of like being rare fish traders, and we're taking it to random forum sites and so on and so on. So I think establishing as a group our own little culture and then spreading the culture instead of spreading the cryptocurrency and like poor written shills or anything like that. I think that's where the real gems are found, is in the culture.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that answer. So we've talked quite a bit about different marketing actions. I was more wondering on the utility. I had a few questions. For example, you did mention that it is true. I mean, I've seen it also when you start mentioning some cryptocurrency product, especially token ones, meme ones. They have sort of bad reputation with influencers outside of the crypto space sometimes. What are still some ways that you're potentially exploring to still have that Web 3.0 tech while having that that fish aspect and being able to promote it to a larger audience? I'm thinking, for example, about NFTs, for example, or anything else that you're probably thinking of outside of the simple value of the token to increase the overall utility of the project.
Right. So I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to release this yet, but I do know there are a couple members of the community working on something NFT related. It's not just going to be a boring old like collect your NFT and whatever else. It's going to actually be an NFT fish tank kind of system where you'll get to see your fish and you'll be able to interact with your fish, breed your fish, and then sell the NFT. So the concept there, it's still in works. There's nothing like rock solid about that yet. But I think NFTs, for the most part, have been quite overplayed. It's definitely not something that people are still looking at and thinking, oh, this is unique. This is like every other project under the sun released an NFT. But what the NFT does is really where you have the ability to mix it up. And in terms of this, it's very similar to what we want to do.
I can continue with the NFT thing. So, the idea is this: we're going to have an NFT with real utility in it. I think by the end of this year, maybe in December, we are going to have a international discourse contest in Indonesia. Yeah, my home. The idea of the NFT is that the owner of the NFT will have a discuss at a spot in the contest. Yeah. The owner of the NFT will have a discourse at a spot in the International Indonesia Discourse Contest. And if the discourse wins, of course, we will send him the trophy.
For those that don't know, Rio is actually an international awards holder of discus fish, and he's won quite a few awards. He's given speeches and things like that in relation to his fish and the genetics behind his fish. So I think having the awards and like having somewhat of a contest of fish judging hosted by Rio is a very big thing in Indonesia as well.
Yeah, well, that's what. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you, Rio. Go ahead.
No. Please continue.
So no, I'm saying the idea of a contest is actually really, really interesting to generate some traction. We at Senior Rating, we're doing something kind of similar. We're doing the Influencers Award that actually just got. We finished the study earlier this week, and we're working on the results. But basically, it's some sort of like some sort of Oscars of the influencers, where we rank the influencers by the call channels by the better volume, also the ones that are putting a lot of emphasis into the research before doing a call and not promoting a shit ton of projects all the time. And then we're going to be rewarding them with an award with that. And I think that if you transpose that to the fish industry, it can be very awesome, because it's something that's not there yet. And if you can combine the Web 3.0 technology with NFTs, which is what we're doing as well, but on a different sector, with with a reward, it can really go highly viral. And since I think it's a very, very interesting approach. And I also agree for the NFT fish tank. That's an awesome utility for an NFT. That's exactly where that's exactly where you want to take your product as well, because you're going to be able to have people all across the world to be part more actively of your product. So I have another question, which is regarding more of your actual business. So given the fact that you're selling fish, it's a living animal, so you can't send it overseas or even internationally, or I don't even know how logistically it works to send it far away from your store. Do you have any plans to kind of build your your network and to increase the potential reach of customers around your project, William or Rio?
Of course, you can send it overseas. But I'm sending William right now.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
actually he is sending me a disc, that's why I've been in the tank.
Wait, are you serious? You can actually send it overseas, like from Indonesia. That's awesome. Actually, I had no idea.
I
Okay.
can do it.
So how does that work?
Maybe
Could you
I can
guys
send
go
one.
in?
Maybe I can send one to you.
Would you like to explain how does that work? Do you put them in a, I don't know, in a special tank? How does it work to send it overseas? Because it would be very, very interesting, I think, for
They
people that
usually
maybe
do
want
it
to buy
with
it.
a plastic bag, a heat
Yeah.
pack, and then a special sealer around it. And then there's different services that you can use across the world, depending on it. Sometimes can be quite expensive though, depending on the size of the fish and the size of the bag that they need. But it's doable. It's definitely doable.
Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so I see that it's 5:30 already. I'm going to be opening the questions, the floor to the overall question of the community. Before I go and we answer the questions, is there anything you guys want to add? Want to add for the people listening? Something special that we might not have covered during the survey?
Maybe just somewhat from me. Like we all know that this shop is my living income. So we are not expecting, like I say, I'm a discuss company. I said, no, I live from the shop. I will go less as long as I live. And also with the Ameldiscus coin, it will stay and grow with the shop. Yeah, that's the only thing I can promise you guys. That our Ameldiscus coin will always grow and stay with the shop. And the shop, as long as I live, because it's my living income, will stay open. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's a long-term thing because the store's not closing anytime soon.
Yeah, no way, man.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, so I see we're starting to have a few questions. Remember, guys, we have a giveaway for the best questions in AMO Discus Token. Okay, so we have a first question. How will you reach out to people who are into fish keeping but are not into crypto? William, if you want to answer, or Rio,
yeah,
you guys.
sorry about that. Just trying to see where these questions are coming in. I see. Yeah, so I think Rio actually has a pretty good strategy for this one as well, because even just people in his local area are getting more involved in crypto because of the things that are being seen by him doing these projects. So, Rio, do you want to let him know what you've been doing locally?
Yeah, of course. Selling has been my living income for about 5 years before I know crypto even. Yeah. We do lots of things to promote our shop. First of all, of course, social media. We mostly use Facebook now for selling fish. So I have a Facebook page. I have a Facebook ID. I have a Facebook page. You can check on my Facebook page. It's all written on the Telegram channel. Also have a brick and mortar shop, and I also do some online selling to our biggest marketplace in Indonesia, Tokopedia. You can check it also. I have provide the links in the Telegram channel. Well, that's all I do now to push myself.
With the Facebook group that Rio has, actually, it is related just specifically to his fish business, but it is quite a sizable Facebook group there of people who are interested, And when he opened it up to crypto, he got a lot of responses there. He had a lot of people who weren't so aware of it being, used in a reality situation. And people have been purchasing fish from his store in BNB, and that's just furthering the use case of crypto in everyday society.
Yeah, no, because I launched on the Discus coin. Yeah, of course, I accept BNB and I'm on Discus coin as payment in my shop.
Right. So there's not many currencies that can say that there's a real store that you can buy something and you can walk in there and purchase something with the coin. So that's pretty unique.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was actually a question a little bit like down below, but yeah, that's absolutely fantastic that you can actually use AMO Discuss to actually buy like physical goods. So I see another question that we have. I try to get it from another person. Putting into consideration the current market conditions and how the bear market has been reducing the value of the liquidity of holdings of more projects, do you have any plans to peg or kind of hedge the pool? I guess like what the question is that since you're pooled in BNB, do you have any plans to stabilize the price of the token? Because we see that the liquidity to market cap ratio is quite high, and so that leads to some pumps and some dumps sometimes, and it might kind of defer some larger investors that might get scared of getting dumped on, and furthermore it might cause some issues if BNB is to fall more than if we're pegged with BUSD. So this is a liquidity concern question basically.
We already have talked about opening multiple liquidity pools, because currently the one that we do have is burnt. So, that's locked in. That's always going to be safe and secure for everyone. But definitely if we were to feel that we had enough, right now the liquidity and the market size itself probably isn't at the point where we need to worry about something like that, just because if the price is going down, then the ratio is going down anyway. But if we were to have a much larger LP size and multiple pools, then definitely we would be putting in positions to peg certain amounts of those.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. So we're going to be taking 2 more questions before we're in the AMA. Okay, so we have a question from Victor. Do you plan on reaching out to non-natives, people who don't speak English and are not familiar with the crypto ecosystem? I guess the non-native, non-English question, for example, we have an important French community here listening to us. So I see you guys have done a few different groups with different languages. Do you plan on continuing that, or do you have any specific plans for non-English people?
Yeah, maybe.
I think, Rio, go for it.
Yeah. Our Indonesian friend, I see some of our Indonesian friend in the group also. Maybe I will speak a little word Indonesia. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, go for it.
Ya, kalau yang ada mau nanya, nggak apa-apa, nanya aja. Nanti ditranslate kok. Silakan. Yeah, just my Indonesian friends to ask anything in Indonesia if they want to ask. We will translate for them.
Okay, awesome. Let's take one final question. Let's see. Are you considering the concept of online fish show contests from different fish keepers all over the world and streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms for more exposure?
We actually did that couple of times, especially during the COVID. Yeah, everything was closed during the COVID. So, but the contest must go on. So, some community from some country like Europe, we in Indonesia also we held some online discuss contest. Of course, you can see the recap on Facebook. Actually, I posted some on my walls.
Okay, awesome. That's pretty cool. Well, we have one more minute, and we're going to be ending it with favor. Ola, I was wondering why you chose fish out of all creatures.
Well, Rio already had the store, so this is all Rio. Why do you love fish, Rio?
That's my child name, I guess. I really like fish since I was a young boy, but I haven't got much time with them. And now that I have more settled income, was when I have more settled income and start the hobby with fish. That is grow. Once it was just a hobby, now it become business. And one thing for sure that business that come from hobbies is that business that you will put all your heart in it. Yeah, you will really love your business because it starts from your hobby.
That's awesome. Okay, guys. So I think it's 40. So we're going to be ending up here because we have another AMA lined up in a bit. So we're going to be ending up here. William, Rio, word to end the this AMA. Final words.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so guys, there's nothing more secure than a real business.
Yeah. Okay, Rio, go ahead.
I really deeply say thank you to all of you guys for believing in me and for being my investor. As the concept that you guys are my holders, you guys also own the shop because you guys has the earn to have the 10% from my revenue. So you guys also the owner of the shop. So let's grow this together. Let's grow the shop. Let's grow the coin together. Because the coin will grow with the shop grow, of course. Thank you all.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we're very happy to have had you guys on board, and yeah, we're we here at TNA, we're a big believer in investors into your product. So we'll definitely be following you guys very closely, as well as our community for the next couple of weeks, month, and maybe years. And yeah, we're very excited to see you guys how you guys go and perform over the next upcoming weeks and what's to come. Okay, so we're going to be ending up the AMA here. So thank you, William. Thank you, Rio, for coming. Thank you, Miguel, as well. And we'll be posting the AMA on YouTube as well later. And we'll be announcing as well the best questions and the winners of the little giveaway in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to be closing the call, the AMA. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys soon, hopefully.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye.